All right, I think we're good to go to get started. Thank you everybody for joining today. We are going to be going over our newest offering at ActivePipe, custom newsletters. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about all of that and what it entails. If you guys have any questions at all, if you don't mind putting them in our Q&A, please, that'll be really helpful for me to make sure that I'm seeing them up in front and making sure that we have our special guest able to answer them while we're all here together. So again, thank you guys for joining. We're going to be talking about custom newsletters. I'm going to introduce Alina, who's going to speak a little bit more about what she's offering. A little bit about Alina, and then Alina, I'll hand it over to you to kind of introduce yourself. But Alina has been working at ActivePipe. If you guys are familiar with our nurture campaigns, she has created all of those beautiful campaigns. And she has a lot of experience in email marketing and creating beautiful newsletters for many agents. Alina, I'll hand it over to you and kind of talk about yourself and what we're offering here.
Awesome. Great. Yeah. Thanks, Devin. So for about 2.5 years, I was the digital marketing director for a Sotheby's office out here in Los Angeles. And especially once the pandemic started, we really started setting a new importance on really sending out these monthly newsletters each month, or having something that was at least available for the agents in our brokerage to be able to have. So we really revitalized the newsletter that we were already sending out at that point, and started to realize really how important it was in order for just staying in touch with clients on a monthly basis, staying top of mind with them. And as I've been working with ActivePipe, I've started to notice too what a great impact that has had for a bunch of our users that send out a monthly newsletter. But we also know that there are a lot of you that either just don't have the time to create something like this for your brokerage, maybe don't have the manpower or resources to do it, or even sometimes it can be hard for people to remember that you have to get this newsletter created on a monthly basis. So we're super, super excited to be able to start offering this to you guys. Let me see if I can. Do I have the ability to share my screen, Devin?
You should. Let's see. Yeah, you should be able to.
Yes, I do.
While you're trying to share your screen, I'll just mention what you kind of highlighted already is we are just seeing a huge engagement rate with newsletters that are being sent out by our customers. And we're just seeing that newsletters tend to be some of the most popular emails that do go out and are actually engaged with. We actually had one agent share a story where he sends out a weekly newsletter and he meets people in the grocery store that are on his email list, and they mentioned to him, how excited they are to receive his weekly updates and see what's going on locally, that kind of thing. And I'll just share one other story. I had a customer last year who was hesitant to send out a newsletter. They came up with a quick little kind of Thanksgiving newsletter and sent that out to about only 10 clients. And they were actually able to get 2 listings from that just by word of mouth. So I just wanted to kind of reiterate how important, email marketing is, one, and two, how beneficial newsletters and those having, the emails catered to what's going on locally to your clients can really be quite successful. So Alina, go ahead.
Yeah, so to start off with, we're going to have 2 levels of the type of newsletter that you could initially request for your brokerage. So this is going to start off with a consultation meeting between you guys, myself, and whoever your customer success manager is. And during that time is when we're going to discuss exactly your goals for the newsletter, maybe exactly the specific type of content that you're looking for, and just overall what you're expecting. So the first level is our boost level, and it will include a custom header image that we will help create for you to be sending out on a monthly basis. If you want to come up maybe with any type of catchy name, we would be able to do that too. And then every month, your newsletter should include links to local news, real estate headlines, maybe some home architecture and decorating article links, whatever type of content you're looking for. This is something that we would discuss in your initial meeting. And that boost level newsletter comes with a $400 setup fee, and then will be $150 per month to have updated after that. The second level we will have is the Cultivate newsletter level, which will also include that custom header image, the links to articles below, but it will also include, we'll open this one up a little bit so you can see some type of statistics included each month, and then also some type of a written greeting and market analysis. But also just a note for this one, if you currently aren't on the level within ActivePipe where you have access to these market statistics, then in order to be on this Cultivate level of the newsletter, you will need to supply us with those statistics each month. And this one is a $450 setup fee and will be $400 each month after that to have updated. Just to finish going through this form a little bit, during your initial setup meeting, it's going to be a one-on-one meeting with myself and your customer success manager. And again, at this time, we're just going to kind of be going over the design, what you're expecting, what you kind of want it to look like. And then we'll discuss kind of your needs and preferences for having it updated after that. And lastly, so I just wanted to go through a couple of questions too that we've already been receiving from these. The first one, can we supply you with articles to include in the newsletter each month? Yes, if you know that your brokerage has an upcoming event or some kind of local event that you know that you're going to want to have included in your upcoming newsletters, you'll 100% be able to send those over to us so we can get those updated for you. Second, can we include featured listings in the newsletter? Yes, of course, if based off how your brokerage is organized, you know each month you're going to have either one or a couple of listings that you're going to want to feature in the newsletter. You can totally do that too. Just make sure that you mentioned to us in that initial meeting that that's going to be something that you want so that we can design that into the format. And then also, again, you will have to supply us with the property or properties that you want to have featured each month. And lastly, will you make requested edits to the newsletter created each month? So within this update fee, it will be updated for you each month, the newsletter, but if you're going to have additional edits beyond that, that is something that we will be able to do, but for an additional fee. So if you feel that that's going to be something that you guys are going to be needing, definitely mention that to us, either in the initial meeting or to your customer success manager. Anything you think I missed, Devin?
No, this is great. I was just thinking it could be helpful to show those email examples again so people have kind of an idea. If you wanted to go into the account that they're actually in right now. I don't know if you have time to do that.
Yeah. Within the main
Within
account.
ActivePipe. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, one sec. Let me pull that up.
So everybody that's on, I did drop that landing page for you guys to, see everything that Alina just went over, one. And then two, there's actually a link there for you guys to sign up and start requesting access to this program and start scheduling your consultation appointment. So I put that in the chat. I'll actually put it in just one more time to make sure everybody sees it. This is where you'll need to go if you are interested in working with us to have a custom newsletter built.
Okay, so can you guys see my screen right now?
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, so this is just an example of the first boost level. Let's go to preview mode, actually. Boost level newsletter that we're going to have. So again, this is just a placeholder, but we'll create some type of a custom image for your brokerage. And then in this example, we just have some links to local news, real estate headlines, home architecture, and decorating. So again, these will be updated each month. And we will do our best to make sure that the links and content that we are sharing within these articles align with your local market, the type of information that you typically like to share yourself from your brokerage. So this is the boost level. And now the cultivate level is pretty similar. It just, I would say, is an add-on. So you still have all of those articles that would be included with it, but there's going to be some kind of a generic greeting, and maybe a discussion about the local market statistics in your area.
Perfect. And I'll just say neither of these examples have listings showed in the examples. That doesn't mean that we can't do them easily. As Alina said earlier, if there's specific listings you do want to highlight, you'll just need to let us know. I see a variation of newsletters. Some do not have any listings in them and some do. It's up to your preference, but we're happy to work with you on that. We'll just want to know what type of listings you guys want showcased in that newsletter.
Great. So let's see. Do we have any questions that we need to go over?
Yes, we had one question about the recording. So yes, I'm happy to share the recording with you, Nicole. The other thing that I'll mention is we actually will have this recording linked to that landing page that is shared with everyone. So feel free to bookmark that now, and you'll be able to refer back to it. And then we had two questions. Will everyone in our market have the same newsletter? It just depends. Sarah, are
Like,
you go ahead, Elena?
likely no, though. I mean, the idea in that initial meeting is that we're going to figure out the type of content that you want shared, the type of articles you want to go out. So ideally, no, there will be some variation between all of the newsletters that are created for your specific brokerage.
That's correct. And Sarah, I'm not sure if you are, ahead of a marketing at a brokerage. That would be a different circumstance than if you were a single agent. So yeah, the goal here is not to have the same newsletter for the same market area, that's for sure. And then Nicole had a question. Can you target specific towns and have multiple newsletters a month? Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely an option. Of course, that all comes, with a fee having multiple newsletters. So,
Mhm.
Alina, do you want to speak more
Um,
to that?
which one?
No,
Last
just
question.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, of course, um, again, and we can discuss this based off your particular needs. In my past experience, I've worked with a lot of brokerages, even if they do service a wide area. Usually we'll just try to find articles or information that could be applicable to everyone in the brokerage, and then maybe kind of switch off between the months of any of the specific sub areas that you want to target. But I mean, if you wanted to have a bunch of different custom newsletters, we could totally do that. But each of those would come at their own individual cost.
yeah, exactly right. Just touching again on Sarah on your question. I mean, these are custom newsletters, so these are going to be custom to you and what you want to share. So they're always going to be different. We had two other questions. Is this pulling contacts from our CRM or do we have a different recipient list? Or do we create a different recipient list? So the newsletter will be created for you. Who you want to send that out to is up to you. So, if you have contacts coming in from a CRM and you want it to send to all of them, that's an option. But the actual act of sending out this newsletter is going to fall on you. Our team is not going to be sending out the email for you. We're going to be creating it for you. And then from there on, it's, your choice of who you want to send that to and what date and time you want that to go out. Is there an additional cost to add listings? I think no. Is that correct,
No,
Alina?
no additional cost to add listings, but we will need you guys to supply that each month. Just because that would be a little bit difficult for us to figure out exactly which of the properties that you want to have some special promotion, either for yourself or your brokerage.
Yeah, exactly right. Hopefully the one thing that you guys take away from, this offering that we have is we really just value and understand that your time is valuable and we don't want you guys to feel we see the benefits and the beauty of email marketing and what that can do for your business, but we also want to offer taking the creation off of your plate so that you guys can be out there, helping people buy and sell their homes So that's kind of the whole purpose of why this offering was born is we want to take that task of creating a beautiful newsletter off of your plate.
I think that was beautifully put, Devin.
Thanks.
Um,
We had another question. Is there a way that we can have agents' signature locked in for them every time they do a new newsletter? So, if I'm understanding that question correctly, I would assume that the person asking this question is on a brokerage level. And if that is the case, yes, absolutely, we can have the signature locked and make sure that it is, change that at least the footer and signature is going to be different for each one of your agents. So yes, the answer to that question is yes, we can lock signatures. Oh, I'm so glad, Aaron, to hear that you're excited. Again, I put it in the chat multiple times, but the main way for us to know that you guys are interested in wanting to sign up and have your first consultation scheduled is going to be on that landing page. So please bookmark it, save it. We will be sending out an email to all of you guys with it, but um, you know, having it firsthand and signing up right away is pretty exciting for us to get started with you.
yeah, and just kind of to show you guys this example once again, all the newsletters that we're going to be creating are going to have a space where it will automatically fill in the agent contact information. And in this one, where I like to have the headshot a little bit higher towards the top, their information will also automatically filter in at the bottom as well.
Perfect. And again, these are just examples. I mean, that consultation appointment that you're going to have with Alina is really going to dig into your wants and needs. And Alina is incredibly talented. If anyone here on the call has seen our nurture offering, you will be well aware of how talented she is. So, yeah, definitely excited that you guys have the opportunity to use her to create some beautiful emails. Where do we find the report on your newsletter letting us know if we have bounced emails? So all of our reporting and bounces are this is slightly unrelated to this, but I'm happy to show you. Give me 1 second. So for anyone not familiar, let me share my screen. You can see all reports of what's happening with the emails that you're sending by going to campaigns. Once an email is sent out in ActivePipe, it is considered as a campaign. So after it's gone out, it'll say finished. And then you're actually able to click on these three dots and say view report. And this will tell you everything that's gone on with that email. It'll tell you how many emails were sent out, how many people it bounced to, what the view and open rate was, and sorry, the interaction rate. If you have properties in, you're actually able to see who clicked on those properties and see specifically how many times people are actually engaging with those properties. This is my demo account, so unfortunately it doesn't have great insights on it right now. But that is exactly where you would go in your own account once an email is sent out. Again, so the email's gone out, it'll be considered a campaign. You'll find it in your campaign section. If it's finished, that'll give you a report and you'll just click on view report. And that's where you'll be able to see everything that's going on with it. You can also see bounced emails when you go to contacts in this not subscribed section. If there's any emails that you have in your list that have bounced, they'll show up here in the not subscribed. Okay, I see a couple more questions. Is there an admin function that allows us to see how many of our agents are using the newsletter template? Um, so we have a report on, what emails your agents are using. So that's an option that we can provide for you guys. Um, if you have a CSM contact, they for sure can help you with that. And then also our support team, if you ever are in the app and click help, our support team should be able to provide that for you. Um, the my question to you, and I'm so sorry, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pronounce your name properly. Is it Qin? Um, are you an admin right now? Because that'd be helpful for me to kind of talk through what that process would look like, if you don't mind answering there. Okay, this one was done. Okay, couple of other good questions we have. Is there an annual contract? Or can we sign up and say as long as we are happy? There's not a contract per se, but our goal for you guys signing up for the custom newsletters is to one, just have the consultation and let's understand what your needs are. We anticipate that it's going to be monthly, and so we would like to have you locked in for at least a year. Um, but I would say, Sarah, who asked that question, why don't you set up a consultation, and let's talk through what you're thinking and what you want, so we can make sure that we're meeting your needs, and not necessarily locking you into a contract. But I will say our goal is to have you guys, you know, in this program for at least a year before quitting. But we're also willing to work with you and kind of see what you think works best. Um, okay, Marissa, what does not subscribed contacts mean? Do they get an option to subscribe when we first send a new contact an email? So every single email that goes out, you know, it's mandatory to have the option to unsubscribe. So subscribed means when you're in the contact section of ActivePipe, subscribed means your contacts are getting those emails. They haven't unsubscribed. And then unsubscribed is people that have actually clicked on the bottom of your email and unsubscribed from receiving your emails. They don't want to get them anymore. And then not subscribed is where we see bounce emails end up. I've also seen if you have a misspelling in an email, maybe it's at .com or whatever, and you have an N instead of M for .com. Anyways, either way, if there's any misspellings, they'll end up as bounced or not subscribed emails. So that's what not subscribed is. There's many reasons that they can end up in not subscribed. It typically almost always is we recognize that it's not an email that exists or there's a misspelling. Okay. Deferred contacts or soft bounce. So deferred contacts, I believe, is we have something turned on the back end called Smart Send, which means that we're not engaging with that contact because they haven't been interacting with your latest emails. I believe that's why it might be showing up as deferred. There are a couple of cases in not subscribed where people may have their out of office turned on and it actually turns up like as a bounce email because they have that out of office on. And what happens is you'll send them another email when they're back in town and then they'll end up in subscribed. So that's typically what deferred contacts end up being. Soft bounce, I'm not so sure about. All I know is that emails only bounce if we have a misspelling, there's an out of office on, and the email might not actually exist. I have had a circumstance where someone was sent an email and they had not actually logged in and set up that email yet for that account, so it bounced. And then once they logged in and actually had their email created, they started receiving emails from ActivePipe. So, all right. So, and I think I answered that question. You guys know how to get to reports on email, so you should be able to see what's going on with bounced emails there. I think that's all the questions that we had. Let's see, looking at any more. Is there an admin function that allows us to see how many of our agents are using the newsletter template? So, when you have a template that Alina would create for you, it would come from the admin account. We would suggest that you actually send it on behalf of all of your users. So your agents would essentially be opted in to having that go out. And then you would be able to see for what agents that actual email went out. If you add their contacts, it'll for sure go out for all of them. If you don't and they need to add their contacts, that's a report that we would need to pull for you. But we're happy to do that. So we definitely have reporting on, how often this newsletter would actually be used for your agents. All right. I just got through all of the questions. Do we have any more? We have plenty of time, so feel free to ask. I'm also happy to unmute anyone if needed. Um, let us know. And again, if you guys are interested in the custom newsletter program, please refer to this link that I am sharing once again. And that way we'll be able to collect your information and set up a consultation call with Alina for you. I'm not seeing any other questions, Alina. Anything else that you wanted to go over? Or are we good to go?
No, I don't think so, but we're super excited to be working with you guys on these. So please, again, follow that link, sign up if you're interested, and we'll talk to you in your one-on-one consultation.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear from you guys and see the beautiful emails that Alina is able to create for you guys. All right. Again, this recording will be added to that landing page that I've shared a couple of times now. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to your CSM or support team. Um, Otherwise, we'll be looking forward to hearing from you. All right. Have a great day.